Happy New Year and welcome to Boomtown Hoops Live. We're here to talk about what was ultimately a pretty brutal game. Oklahoma City falls. Awful game. 113 to 80 to the Pelicans in a game that was pretty close all the way until Brandon Ingram's ejection. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me today, Josh Calloway, Jesse Postier. Guys, folks, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of our quicker post-game shows, I think. This game was ugly. This game was this gross. Didn't like it. Yeah, like you said, it was a fairly competitive game, and the Pelicans had the edge the whole time. But then once Brandon Ingram got ejected, Bob, you just did the math. They scored, what was it? You had the number, 13 points in 15 minutes?
Oklahoma City only scored 13 points the rest of the way with 3 minutes left in the third.
What are we doing? Awful. Yeah, I mean, it was bad. It was kind of a punt game, which is, I don't know. I don't feel like we definitely didn't do that the first 3 games. They tried to win all of those as far as, the players. And the players always, I don't want to say like the players, but it seemed like the rotations, everything kind of punted. Lou barely played in this game. The bench guys, Poku and Roby and Hamadou got like starter number of minutes almost. Just a weird game, just a game that it seemed like we were just content to let get out of hand, which was odd. It was just gross. It was ugly. There's not a lot of good out of this one. I mean, even, this year's kind of like we've always said a bunch of times, it doesn't really bother us too much to lose. We still want to have good things happen. This didn't really have a lot of good things. This was ugly.
No, it was just a gross game. Leading score, Al Horford was 17.
Al played well. That's about it.
That's
really.
like it.
Yeah.
Just a gross game. Set a record for 3-point attempts and a half with
29.
29, which
29 and a half.
I don't even know what we're doing here.
29 and a half, and I think somebody tweeted that we averaged 30 a game last year. We had 29 the first half tonight.
They're just chucking it up. It's wild. I kind of love it. I kind of don't. I don't know how to feel. Jesse, how did you feel about the loss?
Yeah, it was gross. I mean, I know it was closer in the first half, but it just felt like the Pelicans had this game in their control the whole time. It was disappointing when Ingram got ejected that we couldn't even put really anything together then. And I think Zion was on the bench with 4 fouls, and I just really thought we'd kind of see some type of push, but I don't know. We just put the bench in, and it got messy. I think we only scored 7 points in the fourth. Like it was just, it was not fun to watch. Yeah.
No. And Nate's over here, asking if Dignault will give up like that in the future. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give up's the right word, because it wasn't a full give up, but when you're putting out rotations like that, you're not exactly trying to scrape for the win. So I could definitely see him just
like I said,
guns.
You never know. You hope, obviously, injury. We didn't hear anything about any injuries, but like Poku, Malajone, Diallo all played more minutes than Lou. That's not trying to win a basketball game.
No.
So I don't know what the plan was in this one. This was a weird one. Oh, Roby did too, and Roby. I don't know if I said him before.
And
so
Roby.
Yeah.
Old Roby back in action.
Good to see him playing. We said that after the other night. He got Kendrick's minutes pretty much.
Yeah. What's up, Max? I also see your question here. Is it giving up if you're giving young bench players minutes? I guess that's kind of the point here. That's kind of what they're doing. So I assume it's a part of the process.
Yes. At Lou's expense, though.
Lou did miss a lot of the first half with some
he only had
foul trouble.
He had 2 fouls. I mean, whatever. I don't know. Really, like you feel like he needs to learn to be able to play with 2 fouls. It's not like he had 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
They know better than we do. It just was one of those weird games that it just kind of kept getting snowballing and getting away from them, and it seemed like there was just never really any effort to like pull it back. And that tank lineup, man, we keep doing it, and I don't like it. Of just putting all the bench in at once. It's horrible to watch. I don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. I will say, chat going off right now for New Year's Eve and a bad game. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we weren't sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're glad you're here. Let's talk a little bit about the big story, kind of going into this. The return of Steve. The Kiwi was back for one night only. It was weird seeing him in the Reds. Some heartbreaking tweets out there. There one in particular about a little kid. It was like, why is the guy? Why is Steven Adams in red? What happened? And that just had to be a heartbreaking thing to tell anyone. But thoughts on Steve, who had a pretty good game, 14 points, 10 assists or rebounds. What am I saying? Good. Hey, if the Kiwi was dishing out assists like that, I'd be here for it. But double for Adams on his return. How do we feel?
Yeah, it was funny. I literally did in the pregame. FSOK starts the broadcast, and they showed Steven Adams walking into Chesapeake, and he was with Lonzo Ball. And I'm not even kidding. My brain was like, why is he walking in with Lonzo Ball? Like, that's weird. Why are they walking in together? And he's on the Pelicans. Like, my brain is not ready for that, especially walking into the Peak. Hard to see. Behind Russ, I don't know if there's anybody more beloved in Thunder history than Kiwi. And he played well, as probably expected. We didn't really have anybody to match up with him, really. He got the best of Horford, it seemed like, most of the time. Good to see him playing well. Hopefully, he has a good season. The Pelicans can make the playoffs for him and everything. Obviously, I think we all hope for that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We all are, big Steven Adams fans over here. Big. We're supporting Steve all the way. But Jesse, your thoughts on seeing the Kiwi back in OKC?
It was very difficult for me. I think if we even want to talk about when Russ came back, that game was different because at least the Thunder played very well in that game. So, yeah, there was nothing really to get excited about in this game, and that just made it even worse, I think, because there was nothing to really root for. Stevens in red, tonight was just all wrong.
It was weird, but you just take it, it happens, and you move on to the next one. Yeah. But kind of talked a little bit about Al Horford. Great performance from him tonight, with his 17 points. That was pretty good. I don't think there's much to say. He was shooting the ball well. I thought he was really smooth. But good. Hey, at least one player played good today. So good on Al.
Yeah, I think probably he's the only. You said we were talking about in pregame. You were saying maybe Muscala. I mean, Muscala didn't have a bad game. But Horford's probably the only one you would say had a good game. I mean, that's a very obvious play game. I mean, he was hitting his threes. He came out and played pretty well tonight. Nobody else did. I mean, SGA and Baisley both didn't look good. Lou barely played, like we said. George Hill didn't do much. Just a group effort loss, really. On all fronts. And then the rotations with Coach Dagnall, he challenged a call in the first 50 seconds that was wrong. It was all bad. It was all bad. Throw this one away and go to the next one.
Absolutely. Chat. Sean, who's always here, is just roasting Poku all the way around.
Poku was looking better. He had a 3 in this game.
Yeah, he hit the 3.
Good. He did have a horrible pass, one of the worst passes I've ever seen, when he slung it off the backboard, which then turned into like the outlet pass the other way, or transition layup. But he hit a 3, and he had that nice assist to Roby, and and he led the team in assists with 4. Tied for the team lead. Tied for the team lead. I think SGA and Hill also had 4. But.
Oh my gosh, Poku is just a wild card, weird experience.
I mean, it's not meant as a diss. It's really not. But this was his best game, I think. Even though he had the terrible passes and he only scored 3 points, he looked the most relatively. He's still not comfortable, but he looked the most like he had a semblance of what he was doing. Had a few nice passes, hit a 3. Give him some time. Give him some time. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, we have Sean saying he's a waste of a first. I disagree. It's way too early. Jesse, your thoughts on the Poku experience?
It's been rough. I mean, I try to pick out the good because he's still so young, but it's been a little rough to watch. I mean, he hit the 3 tonight. He made his first bucket the game before, so I'm gonna call that progress. But it's been a little rough.
I am a Poku defender also,
Yes.
but that was an egregious goaltending. What was he doing? It was coming way down. It was going to be way short, I'm pretty sure. And he just swatted it away, like just handed them 2 points. That was ridiculous. Do they not have goaltending in
They don't.
apparently?
I don't think they do in a lot
I was
of Europe.
kidding. Do they actually not?
They don't have it. If it like hits the rim, you can knock it off, I guess.
Well, that one wasn't
That-
that.
so
That
that-
was
that was
literally just coming down, and he just came and volleyballed it away and just gave them 2 points for no reason on a foul. That was dumb.
There's no defense with Poku there, but
That was bad. That was bad.
He's young. We're all going to give him some time, but before we wrap this up, let's reflect on 2020. Bad year, rocky year for the Thunder. Favorite 2020 Thunder memory for the full year. It feels like forever ago that we were beating the Dallas Mavericks for last New Year's Eve.
I was there. It was great.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
Great, way better times. We've seen a lot of bad ones, but what was your favorite one, Josh?
Wow. So many to pick from. Honestly, it feels like the Russ comeback game, I believe, was this year. If you can believe
It
that.
January.
It feels like forever ago. That was obviously great for a lot of reasons. Just to see him come back, and then also to just destroy the Rockets that night was awesome all around. And they debuted the memorial bombing jerseys. That was an awesome game all around. That was like one of our 2 national TV games last year. That was great. I have a hard time topping that. That's one of the favorite Thunder games I've ever been to. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, it was an emotional moment for all of us. Sean mentioned the little nutmeg that CP3 threw through. That was great. It was just a great night.
It just was on fire that night.
It just felt awesome. That is a good one. Jesse, your favorite memory from 2020?
I mean, mine would be Russ, that first game as well. I go to a lot of sporting events, and they're always fun, but that one was different. It was memorable. It was everything I wanted it to be, the energy and everything. So, yeah, that would be my pick as well.
Yeah.
You also got the Celtics win pre-season going away. That was actually the last game they played.
It was that win. Last one.
Yeah, that win really felt like this team might actually be really good. That Celtics win was awesome. Any comeback, any of them, back in January, February, and what we got of March. Game 6, Blue clamping Harden. A lot of fun stuff. That team last year was a lot of fun. I think we'll have fun times ahead with this group. Take some lumps this year like tonight, but good times are ahead.
Yeah, great times ahead. For me, my favorite memory was that very first Jazz game, right in the bubble, first regular season game, midday, just smoked them. Just the feeling of having NBA basketball back after losing it so brutally, and the tough months that took place between those 2 Jazz games, just having it back, having the Thunder back, it really shows. Well, I mean, I knew I loved the team, but it really felt great having that back. And of course, hey, Boomtown Hoops. That's a great one as well.
Another honorable mention, Paul George hitting the 3 off the side of the backboard when the Clippers got eliminated by the Nuggets.
Oh, God. Old way off P. Gosh.
Yeah. Way off P.
Well, that's all we got. This game was a stinker. I'm surprised we
not a good one.
I'm surprised we even talked 15 minutes about it, but thank you so much for joining us on New Year's Eve. And we will see you in 2021. Have a good night. Have a happy new year.